Hello everyone and welcome to another Fight Night Legends Top 3 Decks video. In this series, we follow Fight Night Legends each and every single week. We look at top performing decks, most popular, and decks to watch for the most recent Fight Night Legends. Before we get into the video, take a second to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with all of our Legends of Runeterra content. Check out the links in the description to find our social media pages. We've got a lot of folks working behind the scenes to keep the content flowing and to allow for our weekly Runeterra tournaments. Fight Night Legends is a 2-deck, no-ban format. Every Friday, 8 players from the Americas region and 8 players from the European server are invited to play. If a player manages to finish in first or second in any given fight night, they'll be invited back next week for a chance to prove themselves once again. This week's fight night on the America side was won by Deach. They championed Zoe Diana Invoke and Draven Swain. This continues Draven Swain's streak of dominance despite being a relatively underrepresented deck. In second place is Mr. Emotional for the second week in a row. His lineup was even more aggressive than last week, bringing Fearsome, splashing for Pale Cascade, and Discard Aggro. On the European side of things, we have Fly taking first place, bringing Ezreal Draven and Scouts. It's been a while since Fly got the opportunity for a Fight Night run, and it's great to see them find success this time. Ranu would go on to finish in second place with Soraka Kench and Frostbite Midrange, a formidable performance for their first time in the Fight Night ring. Starting off our list in the number 3 position, Zoe Diana Allegiance is an Invoke-based strategy that aims to accrue tempo and card advantage using Mountain Scryer. The deck's champions are both incredibly cheap, which allows the deck the ability to snowball a lead early on, while its Invoke-generated cards will carry it through the late game. Most often, you'll see this deck splashing Shadow Isles to get access to Atrocity. This gives the Invoke deck the ability to pin its opponent, where they can either let the large Invoke units hit the Nexus, or they can attempt to remove it and risk getting blown out by Atrocity. This week, Invoke Allegiance was brought by 2 players in the Americas and 1 in Europe. Deach would win the Americas Shard with the help of Allegiance Invoke, where his deck would be able to outgrind all of his opponents with incredible healing and card generation. Once again, we see a powerful Fight Night performance from our number 2 deck, Draven Swain. This Noxus P&Z deck has some of the strongest removal options present in the game, with many of them doubling his reach. This gives the strategy an effective way to pressure the opponent's units early, while allowing it to convert into a burn deck in the late game or set up a win with the Swain Leviathan lock. Though Draven Swain was only played by 2 players in the Americas, Deach would go on to win his shard with the Archetype. Draven Swain has low-key been dominating Fight Night every week the strategy is present, and it seems to finally have picked up more popularity. This deck shares many similarities with our number 1 deck this week. It really makes you wonder what it is about this region combination that gives it so much power in the 2-deck Fight Night format. By contrast, other formats have really been focused on Targon-based strategies. Undeniably, the most popular deck this week in Fight Night was Draven Ezreal, which is our number 1 deck this week. This deck would go on to win Fight Night EU piloted by Fly, as well as a 3rd place finish on NA in the hands of BBG. What is most interesting to note about Draven Ezreal this week, however, is how it dominated Europe in comparison to the Americas. Where only 1 player would end up bringing the deck in the Americas shard of Fight Night, 5 players brought the deck on the European side, with 3 of them finishing in the top 4. What could cause such a wide gap between the 2 metagames? Will Draven Ezreal grow more popular in the Americas in the weeks to come? Or is it possible that we'll see the strategy decline moving forward? Whatever the case, it seems that P&Z Noxus-based strategies have crowned themselves the current kings of the Fight Night format, finding success not only in both Draven Ezreal and Draven Swain, but also in Discard Aggro. Let us know in the comment section below what you think about Noxus P&Z strategies. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed our content, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future Giant Slayer LoR videos.